but that's not your fault.
No,
because,
that's
like,
a fair point.
you've got your breaking point, and like when you've said, I think more Mario. If I'd have said that to Mario, he probably wouldn't have taken as much offence because.
You pointed out, and I've thought about it. Whereas,
because you don't.
although I think you slightly deserved it, I think you were right to get miffed with me, and I can understand that. But saying to someone jokingly, saying someone in a light-hearted way, "Oh, you'd hate that film. It's got no blood in it."
Yeah.
I mean, even you
do your little nod thing, and that's it. But then, yeah, and then when you came out at Mario, he's probably taken a little bit more offence because you don't say things like that very often. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But overall, I don't think that was. It's not the worst thing in the world.
So
to
why
say.
do you think he's a bit miffed with me? Is it just that I don't
it could
feel
be part.
for him?
It could be part. Yeah, it could be part of the fact that what you said was true. Maybe he does have feelings for you, and he maybe would like to think that he's got a little bit more in common with you than what there actually is, because he does maybe like you in a way that you don't like him back. It could be to do with that.
Yeah.
He hasn't honestly said anything.
No.
But
no, he'd never bitch about anyone. What should I do though? Because I can see it in his eyes. He's really hurt by whatever I've done. What?
I just think he's really.
He's not as.
He really likes you, and in a way, obviously you know, and I guess it's maybe a little bit frustrating, maybe.
Yeah.
But I can't confirm that because I've never been in that position really. I've never felt attracted to a girl that. Yeah, like I would only sort of feel that way about a girl if I felt the feeling was mutual, and then like I would get like you can normally work it out in a couple of days if. And
the feeling is,
then your feelings grow.
In a platonic way, I'm really fond of him, and you know that.
Yeah,
I like him a lot, but I think you're right. I think it's this weird thing. As I said, I've only been lucky enough once or twice in my life to have friends that I've really had a lot in common with. All my friends have lots in common with me and me with them, but we're all different people. And
yeah.
I think, you know, he's kept on repeating the last day or so, maybe we don't have that much in common. Maybe I don't know you that well.
Well, me and you don't have very much in common. We do have common things, but there's a lot of things about us that are completely different.
I'll tell you one thing that's interesting about you and me a little bit, or not just you and me, but the house in general. I'd be interested in your view on this. Like, in a way, I've had a pretty good week the last few days. I survived my eviction. The public obviously didn't hate me that much, otherwise I would have gone. I might go whenever. But yeah, I haven't really had a fight with everyone. Everything's been, apart from you and my little tiff, which was only a tiff. Like, in many ways, like, I've had a much easier week this week than last week. You know, I'm getting on quite well with Nathan, you know.
Yeah.
In a way, I'm more liked by people. But what is interesting is that with, like, my good friends, i.e. you and Mario, with everyone apart from Dave, I feel things are now more distant. Is that just normal, or
it's not,
is it something I'm doing wrong?
No, it's not something you're doing wrong. It's just as time is going on, people are obviously finding out more about each other, and we're connecting more as a group. So people are spending, like a week ago, I don't even think Mario was talking to Iffy at all. Now look at them. They're sleeping in the same bed. They're with each other all the time. Do you know what I mean? And that's something that the dynamics can just change just like that. Like.
Before.
Oh yeah, we were pretty close before, but now that Jovan's gone, like me and Joe's hang around each other a lot more, like even more now. Do you know what I mean? Like we have chats at midnight and that now. Like I guess we were doing that before, but I think everyone's sort of wants to experience everyone. Where this is where you're going to struggle because you're not a group. You like this sort of stuff. You know, I don't mind it every now and then either. Like
you like it with JC.
Well, I don't mind it with anyone. That if some people just talk and I'm just like. Can't even, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas there's some people that I don't talk to at all. Do you know what I mean? But
not anymore, since I think, I'm not saying this to flatter you because you don't deserve being flattered, but I think you've pretty much connected with almost everyone now, with the exception of Kiva and Iffy in a big way. But that's.
Yeah, like I haven't connected a whole heap with Corin. But she's a lovely person. You've connected with her on a total different level to what I have. I just talk to her.
I never know whether she likes me or she's.
I think she does, and so I don't find it difficult. I just don't think that me and Corin, like she's older than me. Like we don't have.
You
that.
connected with Steve, and he's
Yeah, okay.
like, you know, I'm 5 years older than you. Steve's like 16 or 17 years older.
Yeah, I've connected with Steve.
You like him?
Right from the very beginning, I felt that I've always liked people like him, like that are very upfront and I like the way he's been in the house. He's very reserved. He's very black and white. I've always liked people like that. So, but then you've got other people that you won't connect to as much. But I think, I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe Mario did think that you had a little bit more in common than what you did. But that doesn't mean that you can't, like, when we first started, like, we were together all the time, do you know what I mean?
You, me and Mario were a trio, weren't we?
Yeah, exactly. And then, even Dave now, like, Dave's like, you're talking to everyone, whereas, though,
Dave and I are the reverse.
I remember how you really struggled. You were like, if certain people go, I don't know how I'm going to handle it. But, like, eventually as time goes on, everyone gets to know each other, and we're going to connect more as a group rather than these divisions, especially with the two people that have gone, Rachel and Jovan. They were part of, you had your smoking group and your non-smoking group. Now that two smokers have gone, the non-smokers are starting to sort of feel as though they might be a little bit, like they might be able to get, like, talk to the smokers a little bit more because their group's becoming smaller. Do you know what I mean? So it's not so much the non-smokers and smokers anymore. Everyone just does their own thing. And
I think that's true, but where I slightly disagree, and Dave can pipe up if he doesn't want to be tarred with my brush, but I think whilst people like yourself are feel, and I think a little bit this does apply to Dave, we've gone a bit the other way, having been a bit more part of, not exactly the mainstream, but we had more and more people we used to chat to on a regular basis. I really feel, in a way, the only person who would always want to talk to me is him. He's really the only one that
What's made it difficult for me, I think, like Ben's saying, is knowing every week there are certain people that would rather you go than other people around them. And then that then sort of isolates you a little bit from those people. And I'm pretty sure I know who those people are, and you sort of just sort of think, well, like you said to me before, just connect with the people that you want to connect with. So I was in the diary room just now, they called me in, they were asking me this stuff about how I fit into the group and all that, and I just said that. I know the people I connect with, I want to invest in those people, I want to spend time with them. Some of the other ones, you know, I realise there's a disconnection there, and I might be here 13 weeks and I'll be able to connect with them, you know, and that would be sad, but it's not what I want, certainly not what I want. It's because of who I am and the opinions I've brought, or the quirkiness, however you want to call it, has almost isolated me from some of those people when it didn't need to.
But
you know?
it's very hard. It's very hard as well, because at the same time, you don't want to go around talking to everybody, because then it looks like you're trying to...
You're being false.
Yes, that's right, and that's the problem that I've got to deal with. I know myself that I'm not, but...
No, you don't come across as false.
And I guess at the end of the day, like I said to Shabs, that's all that matters. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they think out there. It doesn't matter what people think in here. You know what you've done, what you've said, how you are as a person. Your friends, your close friends will know, and that's all that really matters. As long as you're true to yourself, eventually people like. Do you know what I mean?
You are right, but again, where I'm finding it a bit difficult, and I think Dave is too, is that for whatever reason, I take my hat off to you because you've done really well. You've gone from being a more isolated, at times slightly controversial figure, to a now mainstream, universally liked person who engages with everyone.
Oh, just because,
and I've never say I was universally liked, or Dave either, but I think
far from it.
We've gone from having like 5 or 6 good friends who we sort of all got on with.
I still feel I've got 5
levels.
or 6. I mean, I would include you in that. I would include the Baron, Sunshine, Mario. I think, you know, I've still got a good group of people that really like me, that I like them. I would, like, if the names are on the board, would isolate them first. Do you know what I mean? I'd ring fence them. They're not the ones I
feel that too, but again, and this isn't a criticism of you, it's just the way things go, and I'm really proud of you in a way.
I'm not for anything,
but you're, you know, you do now spend most of your time with Josie, which I can understand. I know you're doing it a bit for her as well.
Yeah.
She's sad over Jovan, and I know you're sad over Jovan. But that's really bonded you together, which is sort of great. But it means, you know, you and I used to spend a lot of time No, not even bickering. We'd have general like laughs and discussions about things, and that just isn't there anymore. Not because my feelings have changed towards you, and I hope your feelings haven't really changed towards me. It's just that you're occupied in a different way now, you know?
Mario, will you give me a hand?
What?
I've just done some washing.
I'll do it.
Will you
I'll
come
do it.
outside and wring them out with me and help me to hang them out?
Yeah.
It's not too much.
Yeah, I just think is, but you see it in, I know you guys aren't familiar with past series, but you see in past series that people can be very close with certain people in the beginning and absolutely hate, and Mario will be able to back this up, Mario, and absolutely hate them by the end.
And
Well,
it
no,
works the other
you've
way
seen
as
that
well.
before, haven't you, Mario?
What's that?
Some people must hate
there's
people
there's
and then
groups
love
in the
them.
start, and then by the end of the series, they absolutely can't stand them by the end of the like that happens quite a lot.
Yeah.
It just depends because you got to remember we've only been here for 3 weeks. We can't get to know everyone in 3 weeks, and it's really that simple.